nutrition in plants. Learning about nutrition in plants. All living organisms require food. Plants can make their food themselves, but animals, including humans, cannot. They get it from plants or animals. Thus, humans and animals are directly or indirectly dependent on plants. Plants are the only organisms that can prepare food for themselves by using water, carbon dioxide, and minerals. The raw materials are present in their surroundings. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. The mode of nutrition in which organisms make food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self, tropos means nourishment. Therefore, plants are called autotrophs. Animals and most other organisms take in ready-made food prepared by the plants. They are called heterotrophs. Heteros means other, tropos means nourishment. Photosynthesis, food-making process in plants. Leaves are the food factories of plants. The synthesis of food in plants occurs in leaves. Water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. Carbon dioxide from air is taken in through the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves. These pores are surrounded by guard cells. Such pores are called stomata. Water and minerals are transported to the leaves by the vessels which run like pipes throughout the root, the stem, the branches, and the leaves. They form a continuous path or passage for the nutrients to reach the leaf. The leaves have a green pigment called chlorophyll. It helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. This energy is used to synthesize food from carbon dioxide and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, it is called photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means to combine. So we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a unique process on the earth. The solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. Thus, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all the living organisms. In the absence of photosynthesis, there would not be any plants. The survival of almost all living organisms, directly or indirectly, depends upon the food made by the plants. Besides, oxygen, which is essential for the survival of all living organisms, is produced during photosynthesis. In the absence of photosynthesis, life would be impossible on the earth. Cells. You have seen that buildings are made up of bricks. Similarly, the bodies of living organisms are made of tiny units called cells. Cells can be seen only under the microscope. Some organisms are made of only one cell. The cell is enclosed by a thin outer boundary called the cell membrane. Most cells have a distinct, centrally located spherical structure called the nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by a jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. Information. Besides leaves, photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plant, in green stems and green branches. The desert plants have a scale or spine-like leaves to reduce loss of water by transpiration. These plants have green stems which carry out photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, chlorophyll-containing cells of leaves, in the presence of sunlight, use carbon dioxide and water to synthesize carbohydrates. During the process, oxygen is released. The carbohydrates ultimately get converted into starch. The presence of starch in leaves indicates the occurrence of photosynthesis. The starch is also a carbohydrate. The leaves other than green also have chlorophyll. The large amount of red, brown, and other pigments mask the green color. Photosynthesis takes place in these leaves also. You often see slimy green patches in ponds or in other stagnant water bodies. These are generally formed by the growth of organisms called algae. Can you guess why algae are green in color? They contain chlorophyll which gives them the green color. Algae can also prepare their own food by photosynthesis. Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. You have just learned that plants synthesize carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. The carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. From where do the plants obtain nitrogen? Nitrogen is present in abundance in gaseous form in the air. However, plants cannot absorb nitrogen in this form. Soil has certain bacteria that convert gaseous nitrogen into a usable form and release it into the soil, which are absorbed by the plants along with water. Farmers add fertilizers rich in nitrogen to the soil. Soil can then synthesize components of food other than carbohydrates, such as proteins and fats. Summary: all organisms take food and utilize it to get energy for the growth and maintenance of their bodies. Green plants synthesize their food themselves by the process of photosynthesis. They are autotrophs. Plants use simple chemical substances like carbon dioxide, water, and minerals for the synthesis of food. Chlorophyll and sunlight are essential requirements for photosynthesis. Complex chemical substances such as carbohydrates are products of photosynthesis. Solar energy is stored by the leaves with the help of chlorophyll. Oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. That's all in this subtopic. More to learn in next topic. Keep learning.